Ooh. Sure. We all have that one deck that we can never ever give up on. It may fall out of the meta, it may not be the most strongest thing, it may not have the most support, but you keep going back to try and make it better, you keep trying to improve it. Every time new cards come out for that colour, you always go back and try and make that particular Digimon or that particular deck work with the new expansion that has come out. AncientGreymon is that for me. It is not the most consistent, it is not the most top tier deck, but I love it so much, and I'm going to show you 2 examples of why. Ancient Grey, it has its moments where it just comes in swinging with the biggest dinosaur dick energy ever, and you have those moments where it's actually incredible and you could win on turn 2. Now, absolute chad of a deck, Ancient Grey. Now, for those of you who don't know, AncientGreymon basically relies on the Ancient Grey mechanic and its engine to win. Now, whether you use a Goonimon or you build up into it as a big boss monster like Red likes to do. Red likes to come in and swing hard into the opponent's security, knocking out as many security cards as it can. Jessmon is good at that, Gallantmon is good at that, Wargreymon X Antibody is good at that, and AncientGreymon is also good at that. Of course, Ancient Grey utilizes hybrids, but it actually doesn't use as many tamers as other hybrid decks do. Now, I'm not going to do a full list of this. The main engine that I use are 4 of these and 4 of these. And to be able to get up into the big swing, you're gonna need some of those, and I'm pretty sure run 3, because you're gonna want to finish with an Omni. I run 4 Aldermons as well, good number of Burning Greymons, and also I run only 2 of these, but that comes up in one of the plays that I'm about to talk you through. So these are the only cards that are important right now. So I go second, turn 1, the opponent is playing Gallantmon, and he puts down a Searcher, giving me 3 memory. In my breeding area, I Digivolve into my little Flamemon. I've got 3 memory, and then I Digivolve for a Goonie, which leaves me at 1. And then I'm missing some pieces, so I Flamemon to search to get the pieces I need. I think I'm trying to search out my stack, so probably an Aldermon or something like that. So I end my turn, I've given them 2 memory, I have little Flamemon and my Aguni in raising. Now, they then Digivolve themselves, and since I've given them 2 memory and it costs them 2 to Digivolve, they're at 0, and they're kind of umming and ahhing, and they use their Searcher that they had before to swing into my security, which puts this to my hand. They swing into this. So now I can see I've got, in my hand among my other cards, I've got an Ancient Grey, a Lightning Joust, and my Omni, and I have this on board. Now, normally I wouldn't do something like this. What I'm thinking, how I can win on my second turn. Sometimes you just gotta enjoy playing the game, and sometimes I like to play a little bit risky. So they finish their turn, and they give me 3 memory by playing another Searcher because they're bricking, right? They need their pieces. They're missing the Gallantmon pieces that they need. So they put down another Searcher, which gives me 3 memory. So I promote. So now I have this on board. Now, Goonimon's special ability is that when it attacks for 2 memory, it can Digivolve into Ancient Grey. I Lightning Joust, okay, for 1 memory, which leaves me at 2 memory, which gives this plus 2,000 power and security attack plus 1. I then do its thing. So for 2 memory, I'm now swinging for 15k, okay, for 15k for 4 checks into their security. So 4. Nothing in their security kills this AncientGreymon. It lives. I then swing with Flamemon. The Flamemon dies. And then I Omnimon for game. So on turn 2, I won the first game on turn 2. AncientGreymon is like that. It can absolutely snowball. Of course, by doing that play I just did, if my Ancient Grey had died on my first or second check, I've basically lost my Ancient Grey and my Aguni, right? That was risky because getting these back is actually quite difficult. You kind of want to save them to be able to build up your boss monster. And I love the boss monster in this deck, and I'm going to show you. So you ideally, again, want this one with piercing because blockers are a pain for this deck. You then want your Aguni. You want to make sure you have your Aguni because you want the inheritable where it doesn't cost 5 to digivolve up into Ancient Grey, it costs 3 instead. If you can then do it, I would recommend putting a Burning Greymon on top of it, just for 1, and then the Aldermon on top. The ideal scenario here would be, you know, this down there, your hero to be able to set your memory to 3, or you're most likely going to have red memory boosts down because, you know, you've been trying to search out your pieces, your Ancient Greymon pieces. Basically, in your hand, once you've got to this point, you want to see these cards. Your main pieces for this are the Aldermon and the Aguni. And then if you don't have the Burning Grey, you're going to need a Lightning Joust as well. So you can see where the consistency issues do come with this deck. I'm warning you, you need a few pieces to be able to pull off the big dick swing. Say you've got this guy out, so you've got your full 3 memory, which is great. That costs 3 to then do that once you've gone out. And he's not hitting any option cards when he goes into security. And if you have hero out, if it's a level 5 or higher, it's adding plus 2000 power when you do this and attack in. So you attack in, and because you've got the Kapurimon underneath, or if you've got Demi-Merimon underneath, which gives also plus 1000 power. So now you're swinging for 16k. There are a few things that can stop that Ancient Grey, 100%, but not many. Odds are you're gonna survive these 5 checks. And it is 5 checks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So hence why you want the Burning Greymon underneath there to give you that 5th check. Or Lightning Joust. Lightning Joust will do the same. So you've cleared them off of their security and you blitz Omni for game. That is the ideal scenario for Ancient Grey. Of course, it's not as easy as that, and this is where this deck struggles. There are things that blockers can stop you from being able to perform that kind of like blitz play. The whole not checking options with the Aldermon, mwah, so good. I have seen people tech in Delicate Plan as well, or instead, or mostly as well. I don't know, I feel like with the Aldermon, you kind of don't need it, and it's like adding in Clunk. What I like to do with this deck, because I'm a piece of shit, is have 4 Gaia Force in there, as well as 2 or 3, I think 2, Crimson Blazes. I love it so much. It's so fun. I absolutely adore this deck. I enjoy playing it so much, even above Blackwall Greymon. I love Blackwall Greymon. He's my favorite Digimon, but his deck play style is much more control based, whereas like this is just like, I'm fucking coming in and I'm hitting you hard, and that's all there is, folks. It is such a fun deck to play. And I hope all of you also, when you start playing the Digimon TCG, or those you do, who have your favorite, like, it's not the best deck I'm not going in to win tournaments with, but I'm bringing it and playing with it because I just enjoy it so much, and it's just so fun. Ancient Grey, my boy. I love him so much.